Welcome
Boys.
to the latest edition of Fortune's Hiding Down Under TV. I love that intro. I absolutely buzz every time it comes on. I can't quite believe we've got that intro for our show.
Makes me want a little dance.
Look, I'm here with Dave and Nathan the convict. Kingy was supposed to be joining us, but he's having too much fun at a wedding. He reckons it's gone on longer than expected, but probably just enjoying a few too many beers. So he might drop in at some point later on. But look, we'll kick off. How are you? How's the week going?
Yeah, good, mate. Just very busy at the moment at work, so a bit tired. But yeah, mate, I'm doing well. Yourself?
Yeah, pretty good. You'll see from my background, I've made it out of the hostage room, and I've got myself back into a nice little setup. So thanks for all the concern and messages of support that I've had. Managed to keep my head and got myself a nice little setup here. So
this has come up with some ransom money, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, nice. Mate, not too bad. I was away all weekend on a golf trip with the lads, which was a shitload of fun, but came back a little bit crook. So feeling a little bit better now. Ready to get up early tomorrow morning and catch up with Dave's favourite European team.
So it is early tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah,
very.
Yeah,
3:45.
Yeah,
2:45. Yeah,
3:45.
3:45.
Yeah,
2:45 for the Sydney and Melbourneites.
No, it won't be.
Right.
They're an hour ahead.
Yeah,
they're an hour ahead. They're an hour ahead, mate. So they'll be 4:45.
Oh, 4:45.
Yeah.
Lucky bastards. That would be nice.
Yeah. So look, we've obviously got a couple of games coming up to discuss. We've got the Geordies on Sunday, and we've got Frieberg tomorrow. So look, we'll get some thoughts on Frieberg. Dave, you seem to know a fair bit more about Frieberg than anyone else.
I just
so
know
what do you reckon?
They're a decent top-end Bundesliga side, mate. You've seen them pick up results, and last season I think they were having a sort of a similar season to what Frankfurt had, that got them, up there as well. And I think it'll be a similar hostile atmosphere to what we had out there, right? I think if you look at, they turned over, I think it was Augsburg at the weekend. Mm-hmm. And there was flares, it was hostile, and it was close, and it was intimidating. And I think without our fans there as well, I think our boys are going to have to be, have balls of steel, which I think they've got character, and if anyone's going to stand up to that, it'll be our boys. But it will be a hostile atmosphere.
It really will, won't it? And we mentioned last week, me and Dave were out in Frankfurt, and that was a hostile environment all round. And I think it will be similar, and not having our supporters in there will make it even more challenging. They had that strange result against Stuttgart where they got spanked 5-0, but they drew with Frankfurt. They've had a few other decent results. Similar start to the season to ours, I think, but without the 5-0 spanking. It'll be tough. What do you think, Nathan?
Yeah, I was just looking at it. They're sitting 8th on the table at the moment, 3 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses. And I watched a little bit of their game against Olympiacos this morning, and I reckon there's some vulnerabilities there where they score. We can score against them. So I think we just, obviously we're away, but we can't let them get in and settle early. Like we've got to be at it. I think it was in the first half. I think that Olympiacos put two shots really, really close that could have gone in other way, and it was all from them trying to play out from the back and then make mistakes. But on the other side of that, they pressed Olympiacos quite high, and got some decent chances themselves. So, but yeah, the one thing I took away from it was I thought they looked very disorganised at the back, and especially with Olympiacos' goals. So. I think we're a chance. I just want us to go at them from the start. So that'll be the interesting thing for me is how we set up. And I hope we don't just go and sit back in the block because I think they're vulnerable at the back.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what we do, though. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm sitting here thinking if we come out of that game and we've not lost, that's a good result and we take it and move on, and perhaps that's what Moyes will be thinking as well. So in terms of lineup, then, what do we do? Do we go revert to, I suppose, a more attacking lineup? He's obviously going to make changes, but do you think it'll be similar to the first Europa game?
I don't know. I mean, they actually play in quite a similar way to us. They're set piece specialists. They score a lot of goals from corners, free kicks, and that. And their pitch, by all accounts, is absolute fucking shambles. So they certainly don't play on the floor. Well, apparently the corners and penalty box are fucking rough as a fucking ladies twat. So
such a nice analogy.
So I don't think they're going to be playing it around like Barcelona. So it could be an interesting matchup. But in terms of our team, I mean, I'd like to see Kudus get a start.
Yeah,
is that going to happen? I don't know.
I think he probably will. To be honest, I think as much as he'll probably be mindful that it's the toughest game of the group. I think he's got a team for Europe that's probably different, and he'll probably still be thinking that it's good enough to go there and get something. So I'd see Mavropanos coming in, I'd see Kudus coming in, a few other changes as well. And obviously wanting to give some of the guys a rest before Sunday.
We agree with that. We've got a big game on Sunday, which I'm sure we'll talk about a little bit later. I would like to, agree with Dave though. I'd love to see Kudus start. Where is probably where I'm scratching my head a little bit. If he comes out onto the left, does I don't think Ward-Prowse has had a break at all yet, has he? Because he played in our first Europe game. Did he play against Lincoln?
I don't.
Was it Suchek who played for Lincoln?
Yeah.
So that might have been his only break. But look, if he does that and brings Paqueta into centrally, he could probably play in that left. Alternatively, he might, I hardly doubt it, but maybe you drop Antonio and bring him in on the right and Bowen central possibly.
Yeah.
It's a difficult one.
Speaking of Paqueta, we've got our first comment here from 50 pence. Thanks for tuning in again, 50 pence. Always good to have you. Paqueta should get himself some claret boots and put a bet on that he will wear them. I think that's fair enough. He probably wouldn't get away with doing something that obvious. But claret boots would go down well.
Antonio,
a comment here from Haydos. Dave, do you want to read that one out?
Yeah, sure. Sam Hayden, Haydos. Thought Olympiacos should have beaten Frieberg. They were brittle at the back, and the Greeks bombed a bunch of big chances. Okay, I haven't actually seen it, to be honest. I didn't watch it, so I can't really say that. Yeah, if you saw it earlier on, Nath, is that a fair comment?
Yeah, definitely. They were brittle at the back, and Olympiacos probably should have scored a couple more than they did. They just did not really convert their chances. So, and Frieberg went up the other end and did. And look, on that subject as well, like Frieberg have got 7 goals and 10 against. So, they're sitting at -3. So they're definitely there for, like, it sort of suggests that if we get up in front of them, we should score. But they're going to try and have a crack the other way as well. That's for sure.
Are we giving them too much credit? I mean, we're champions of Europe. We're well accustomed in getting through these European games, group games. We're actually in great form, despite those 2 losses. So there's an argument that we should be going there full of confidence, and it doesn't really matter who plays. We should be putting them away, but it's never that easy, is it? We know that.
No, it's not. I mean, the one thing I think I read earlier on today was Moyes came out in a press conference and said even if he does rest Antonio, that Mbama is a chance, but only off the bench. So he definitely won't get a start. Maybe he just does bring Ings straight in to play that holding role, which I don't like, but
going to say there's a couple of comments here up here coming up saying Antonio's injured. I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
Is that
I don't think he is. He did come off with a bit of a niggle. I think you could sort of see him saying that to Moyes when he came off in the Sheffield game. But I think listening to Dave and X's pod during the week, he didn't think the only injury person we've got that's injured is Crespo.
So there's one comment here from I the moment saying no Antonio, who's up front. Another one from 50 pence saying Antonio injured. Now, in one of my WhatsApp groups today, there was a message that I've read that said Antonio hadn't travelled and was being saved for Sunday as a precaution. I don't know if there was any truth in that, but obviously that might well be the case. So if that is the case, it obviously changes things. We've spoken about Ings, possibly Mubama as well. But I think
it wouldn't surprise me if that was the case. Like, I mean, we all know how much Antonio needs a break. Like his body was pretty good for us last year, but he can get brittle. And the last thing, look, if we can even nick a draw here and save him for Sunday against Newcastle, I think that's a good outcome.
Yeah. Another comment from Rani Bubble. Evening, Rani. No Antonio, Cresswell or Johnson. So, yeah. Comment here from Damien. He spelled gent wrong. But, another comment from Rani. Nathan, do you want to read that one out?
Yeah. Rani Bubble, thanks for tuning in again, mate. If they're weak on set pieces, surely James Ward-Prowse has to play. I think Dave was saying it the opposite way. They're actually quite good on set pieces.
A lot of their goals come from corners and kicks. But maybe they're not so strong at defending them. I'm not that excited. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm just on David X's site now, and it says that Antonio hasn't travelled. So
yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. And look, I think, thinking ahead about Sunday, it's probably more of an issue if he's not available for that game. I think the Frieberg game should be all right. Comment here from Frank. Good to see you, Frank. Thanks for tuning in again. Want Mubama and not Ings to start. But look, I agree. I would love to see that. I'd love to see Mubama come in and play that role, but I don't know. I can't see it happening. There's been no indication. You'd expect to see him coming on getting 5 minutes at the end of the game. There's 3 minutes here and there to keep him in the fold. There's just been nothing. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
So you think it's start Ings then?
I don't know. I think he probably will. Yeah.
The other thing you got to remember as well is, look, Mr. Offside as well. Old Cornet is in the picture as well and fit, so he's every opportunity. There has been talk that he can play centrally as well. But I mean, every single one of them is just so different to Antonio, aren't they? And yeah, he frustrates the living shit out of me. And I can tell you're going red already, Matt.
Look, I just wouldn't see. There's a message, a comment here from Frank. Give Cornet a shot. See, I disagree. I don't see him in the future of our team, so I just wouldn't waste time with him.
He's just not a striker's arsehole, is he? Let's be honest. I mean, like you said, Mr. Offside. He's always offside, so that ain't going to do us any good. So we don't want him being the highest up there. I don't know. I think, I'm worried we're going there without Antonio. I think that's a little bit of a risk, to be honest. But having said that, we don't want to lose him and him not being available at the weekend. But I just think we're just going to be a little bit weak in that fighting up front role. So, I mean, Ings doesn't like it up there on his own. I'd either go with Ings and Mubama as a pair. So
but it is an alternative, isn't it?
Ings working on his own. Yeah, but he's not going to do that away from home either, is he? He's going to go conservative.
You don't think you're 3-5-2 conservative enough, or?
I don't know, mate. I think you'll go to two defensive midfielders over there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, one thing's for sure. You know, he's going to play Fabianski in goal.
Yep.
Which, I don't think I've got no problems with that at all. He didn't do anything wrong to lose his space, but I do understand the decision for that to happen. I mean, but Bowen come off with a bit of a niggle as well, so it'd be interesting to see if he gets managed. I know X is saying that he's travelled, that front three I think will be the interesting decisions. I mean, possibly the rest of the team may sort of pick itself. Mavropanos comes in, say Cat Kicker Zuma will probably get a break. Maybe Ogbonna comes in as well, and excuse me, what's his fucking name, gets a break as well. So
They come in for me. I think he will switch Ogbonna. Ogbonna's available, yeah.
Yes. I think so.
I think he'll switch both central defenders, and I think and like you say, Fabianski, Cresswell's not available, so you'd have to think Emmy will go on the left-hand side. Johnson's not available, so you got to go with Kofi, haven't you? I mean, see foul.
You do.
It's just it's the midfield, isn't it? We got a lot of options in midfield, so it's hard to say what he's going to do. To be honest, I can't really pick it. I mean, do you give JWP a rest? But he's well up for it. Paquetá's an opportunity to play him central, put Kudus out wide.
I mean, I think the three people that you talk about the most really is Paquetá, Souček, and Alvarez. They're like really the three choices that you've got for defensive midfielders. If you want to play two of them, I don't know. I can't see him dropping Souček at the moment. He might give Alvarez a break, but he's so much better. Souček's better at that adjusting role than just sitting and holding like Alvarez is.
So what do we reckon? Predictions for Frieberg?
I reckon we're going to win. I think we might leak one, but I reckon we're going to win 2-1, and it'll be pretty ugly game. I reckon.
2-1 is on the tip of my tongue, to be honest. I don't think it will be pretty. I don't think it can be pretty with that pitch. We'll see. I mean, who's going to get the goals for me? With no Antonio, I think maybe not. Kudus and Bowen are probably going to have to step up on that front. Maybe even Pac-Man gets involved as well.
Well, there's a message here from Haydos. A draw would still be enough to stay top of the group. Win would be great, but draw in Germany would still be a good result.
I think.
I'm probably going to say 1-1. I think that would be a good result. And if we are missing Antonio and we change a few things up, give a few other players a bit of game time, and we come away with a point, I'd be happy with that. So, I'm going to say 1-1. What was that?
Be satisfactory. A draw would be satisfactory. I think we might grind something. We might grind out the win. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what their defence is really like as well, right? Because it's conceded 10 goals. It's not exactly polished, is it? So maybe we'll do all right out there and get a few goals in the net. Let's see.
It's a good call there from Rani Bubble too. He could play Carey. He's like the forgotten soldier at the moment, really, isn't it?
I can see him doing that actually.
There's quite a few comments come through just around the team and possibilities. I'll just flash a few up. So Frank says Fab as a cup keeper is perfect. Areola has proven to be our number one for the league. Yeah, I think Fabianski will play. That's a given.
Shame the game is at 3 a.m. Well, it's at 3:45, isn't it? Yeah, so close to 4 a.m. It's not pleasant.
That's from Chris. Good to see you, Chris. Nath, do you want to read that one out?
Oh, fuck, give me one of all the words. Thanks, mate. At least I can see myself this week. Just been looking at the Frieberg strengths and weaknesses. Defending set pieces stats show very weak. Could be a bonus for JWP. Corners, weak, very weak.
Okay, so that's from Andy Hartley. Got to say the names because they won't be able to read that on Spotify.
Oh, copy. Thanks, Andy Hartley.
Did we want to process that comment? Sorry, is it
another one from 50 pence? If Mavama was doing it in training, he'd be in. Same as Downs. Moyes hasn't seen what he wants to see.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
I think he's just scared because he's an 18-year-old kid.
I think the pre-season had a bit of an argument to that, though, doesn't it? Because he had such a good pre-season. And you'd say, the only way that you can go from that kind of pre-season to seeing if you can do it in the first team is to actually get some time. So even if he drops off in training, you'd still put him in the team, bring him on as a sub and see what happened. So...
yeah. It's like we're commenting on our own show or there's a fucking boring moment in the wedding.
There's a question here from Fortune's Hiding Down Under TV. How much to get Matt out of prison?
Well, someone needs to get their own log on, I think.
Yeah, it was.
We could have another subscriber.
And look, the following on from that, Frank says he loves the upgraded background for John.
Yeah, we were talking about that, weren't we?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's very good, mate. I like it.
Yeah, I can make the effort sometimes. Smarten myself up a bit.
About fucking time.
Yeah. So a couple of score predictions. Frank reckons we're going to win 3-1. 50 pence reckons it's going to be 4-all.
Wow.
Jesus. Yeah. I mean, you never know with such a shit pitch and a dodgy bobble here and there like that. It's not out of the question, is it? Not that we've scored that many in a game all year so far. But
interesting comment from Chris. Dave, do you want to read that?
Sure. Chris Coy. Don't know if it was mentioned, but we have a chance to equal a European record for most unbeaten games by an English team, I think. Most unbeaten. Okay, so we only have to draw. Well, okay, yeah. I guess some might argue that we had the Conference League there as a bit of an easier run, but hey, I tell you what,
I can only take it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, Aston Villa went through undefeated. They've only...
Yeah. All right, so that's Frieberg. It'll be interesting watching it through one eye at that time of day. Look, at least at that time, you can kind of go back to bed for an hour or two afterwards. And if we're 4-0 down, we can go to bed at half time. Let's hope not. Right, couple of comments.
Yeah, you did go a little bit quiet there for a minute, Dave. Sorry.
Did you still see my picture? Because I just lost your pictures completely.
No, we could see your picture. It sounded like there was a spaceship or a helicopter landing.
Oh, no, that was me. There's a chopper going overhead. Yeah, they're looking for you, mate. So.
It's all happening. Thanks, Frank. Frank says we're in prison. So it looks like we're being sabotaged by a guy who's pissed up at a wedding. So again, Fortune's Hiding Down Under, which I'm only assuming is our missing co-host. Where's the good-looking one? Well, there's three of us here, mate.
Yeah, that's right. Standards have raised. Standards have raised.
Tickets on himself, hasn't he? Eh? Jesus.
Right. We'll get onto the fucking cavemen in a minute. But I'll just go through a couple more of these comments. Haydos says his daughter and him are predicting a 2-2 draw. Andy Hartley reckons a 2-1 win.
Yeah.
I'm
with you, Andy.
Yeah, me too.
And Ryan says, I've just funded the next signing with all the memorabilia that I bought for the background. This is just all stuff I've got lying around. Most of the stuff I've got is on walls spread out throughout the house. And it's, that Velcro stuff that you stick onto the wall. It's all stuck on with that, so I don't want to take it off.
Oh, yeah, nice. Well, I say it's all got the old badge on, so I think you're actually funding Terry Brown's retirement, to be honest.
So 50 pence has offered a bit of expanded on Chris's comment. So the Hammers would reach a notable milestone of making it 17 consecutive European matches unbeaten, a record for an English team on the back of their Europa Conference League triumph last season. That's some doing that, 17 games unbeaten. I don't care what division that is, what tournament it is. We never did that in the Anglo-Italian. We never did it in the Intertoto. So that's a good effort. Right. So moving on to Sunday, we've got the cavemen, the Geordies, the most delusional fans in the world, whatever you want to call them. I know, Dave, the other day you were saying that you're worried about this one.
Yeah,
what
well,
are your thoughts?
Any after last night, mate, to be honest. Going beating Paris 4-1, it's given me even more bloody anxiety over them, to be honest.
So do you reckon they're that good? Do you reckon they are a genuine top 4 team?
Well, they finished top 4. I mean, that's as genuine as you can get. And now they're in the Champions League and performing.
That's a good point, Dave.
I mean, but you know, they've had a bit of a false start. They lost 3 of their first 4 games, and all of a sudden they've shaken that off and they've found form again, just at the wrong time for us. Yeah. You know, I take, you know, Ryan mentioned the other day, like he fancies our chances at the moment as well. I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, we can dig in and hold our own at the minute. But you know, after last night, you go, well, Mbappe probably thought he was going to get a fucking result last night and hasn't, and got fucking hiding along the way. To be honest, I mean, what phenomenal, phenomenal.
And you know, they've just turned City over in the League Cup. They're coming in off the back of three consecutive league games after they lost a couple. So they're certainly in form. You know, and as well as we've been playing, you know, you can look at it the other way. We've lost a couple of games. We scraped a win at Lincoln, depending on the result in the morning. You know,
I don't know. It's like so that their losses, City, Liverpool, Brighton. Right, their wins, and like credit to them for the Sheffield win, but it's Brentford, Sheffield, Burnley. So you know, it's not like they're
Paris
not knocking about the teams who are you know, up and around that top 6. So, look, having said that though, I do think they're a very good side. They've got very good depth, and it is going to be a challenge for us. And that fucking Wilson, if he's up front. There's at least one goal that they're fucking
exactly. They're on, what worries me, they're on a curve, right? They're on an upwards curve, and that looks like the other way because I don't have a mirror in, so we'll go upward curve like that.
Yeah.
Their form is on the up, and you know they've just knocked Man City out of the cup, like you said, and they've just stuck 4 past Paris Saint-Germain. Yeah. They're in a group of death. They're fucking top of a group of death in the Champions League. They were on excellent form last season, as we just said. They finished in the top 4, rightfully got their place in the Champions League, and they're making a good fucking fist of it. So,
do you think they'll be coming towards thinking that is a game that they should be winning, or do you think they'll be coming thinking if they get a point, it's a good result?
No, I reckon they're going to go full out attack.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Frank Kingston looks like he's making a play for Ryan's vacant co-host spot with all these comments. Keep them coming, Frank. Good to have you so involved. He reckons Newcastle finished top 4. They've got belief and momentum, and they've also got good players and a good manager as well, and loads of fucking money. So it's a pretty good combination, isn't it? Well, I'm actually probably a bit more confident about Sunday.
Good.
I think we've got a real chance. I think for us, this is probably a real test of where we're actually at. You know, you look at City, Liverpool. Okay, we lost. We played all right. If we are, you know, gonna keep up in that sort of top 6, 7, 8 all season, these are the games that we should be at least trying to get a point from and possibly winning at home. If we get a win in the morning, you know, we're coming into the game with momentum as well. And yeah, I think it'll be a good game. You know, I don't know what I'm predicting yet, but I think we'll score a couple of goals. I think it'll be entertaining, and I think we'll definitely get something from it. And I wouldn't be surprised if we snuck a win. But you never know, do you, with West Ham? So, look, we'll talk about the team. I'm pretty much expecting the same team that unless there's injuries, same team that played against Sheffield United. What are your thoughts?
I'd have to agree with that. I think we sort of discussed the one after the last European game, right? And we said, Kudus would have to have an absolute fucking blinder, score a couple of goals to get a start in the league. He went and had a fucking blinder, scored a couple of goals, and still didn't get his starting lineup. So I cannot see Kudus pushing Souček out the side for a start against Newcastle on the weekend. So I fully expect same team. I expect Kudus back on the bench. Hopefully, he'll get a good half an hour to show his work.
Yeah, well, there'd have to be an injury, I reckon, to someone who starts for any changes, I reckon, at this point. So, and speaking of injuries, I've just read that apparently that fucking prick Wilson has got a minor hamstring issue. So long may it continue. Fuck him.
That's very good news.
Yeah,
very good news.
Yeah. So.
A couple of comments. One from Haydos. They'll be on a high after thrashing PSG. Will be a tough game. Yeah, we agree. 50 pence. Wilson wasn't even on the bench, so maybe injured.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
And so,
see you next Tuesday.
Yeah. Dave, do you want to read that one out from Andy Hartley?
Andy Hartley. Hello, Andy. Fact for you. The Hammers and Frieberg have met only once, facing each other nearly 100 years ago in a post-season tour match. The Irons were on the receiving end of a 5-2 loss in May 1924. Nearly 100 years ago.
Nearly 100 years.
I still think 100 years ago. I'm thinking like what, 1901 or something like that.
Something.
Do you know, we go fucking 1924. That's only 80 years ago, isn't it? I'm getting old. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for the interesting fact, Mr. Hartley. And take that on board. Yeah. Hopefully we can turn that around and have a 5-2 win this time, eh?
Yeah.
There's a comment from Darren Higgins. Evening, Darren. Thanks for tuning in. Darren's joining us from Thailand. This is becoming my Thursday early evening show. Trust you are all well, chaps. We are. We can't answer for Kingy because we don't know what kind of state he's in. He is here causing trouble somewhere, but he's probably had too many beers at the wedding to be coherent enough. But yeah, look, thanks for tuning in. Hope everything's good over there. So it's early Thursday evening because they're
I think they're a couple hours behind us. On Perth time. So
yeah. So pretty similar to us. A couple hours behind. Oh, nice one.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Nice. Oh yeah, looks like we've got another one down there as well.
We certainly have.
Red Hill Ammo. Thanks for joining, mate. Share it with your friends. Get them to like and subscribe.
You should tee each other up for a game of ping pong.
Well, look, it's good to see Fortune's Island down under getting coverage all across the
globe. We are massive.
It's good, isn't it?
We are massive.
Global. Fantastic. It's obviously a good time zone for them, so brilliant. Thanks for being involved.
Look, we shouldn't really go through a preview of West Ham Newcastle without mentioning this game, which 50 pence has just brought up. So he's saying he was at Upton Park for the thrashing of Newcastle. Pretty sure we won 8-1. Yeah, we did win 8-1. And I'm sure one or both of you know the trivia question that came out of that game.
Yeah, was it three
any idea?
Different scorers?
Alvin Martin scored a hat-trick against three different
goalkeepers.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, I can't remember what happened. I think they both went off injured.
Beardsley went in at the end.
Yeah, he's got the third past Beardsley.
Yeah.
So, that would have been a cracking game to be at.
Showing you I started going to games, so.
Yeah.
And Frank Kingston's very politely said that was 10 years before he was born.
I was alive, but I was very young.
Yeah.
8 years old.
Naive. Very naive.
So, look, genuine question. What are your thoughts on Newcastle as a club? Not as a team, but as a club.
I fucking hate it. Like,
that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, but like, I mean, my hatred comes from the colours. Like, you know, I you know, as a young kid, I played AFL in South Australia, and there's the team over there, Port Adelaide. You either love them or you fucking barrack for anyone who's playing against them. It flows on to Collingwood and it flows through every sport. I just cannot stand anything that's black and white. Fuck them.
Interesting. But I've got mates with the Geordies. We've both got a good mate who's a Geordie.
Yeah.
The old George Gallagher, well, mock Geordie, we call him, don't we? Because he's really really from London. But no, he supports them thick and thin. Look, the one thing you say for them, right, they're a well-supported team, right? They really do get behind their team. They probably don't coat off their players in the same way that we do. And you know, they're balmy, they're bonkers. You know, the last, Milan was it? They're all jumping in the bloody river, swimming after boats and shit like that. So they're a good laugh. They have a good bit of fun. I think, you know, sometimes you get called Tottenham of the North, and I can kind of relate to that a little bit. You go, well, you know, but you know, I think, you know, you meet them out on the street, and generally they're nice fellas, and you know. So I'm being a little bit diplomatic because, you know, the old Tottenham of the North title as well. But I think they're reasonably harmless, aren't they?
Yeah, individually, of course.
I've had quite a few good mates who've been Newcastle supporters over the years, and they're all, you know, lovely people. I just it fucking grates on me this massive club bollocks that they spout on about, and that somehow they you know, getting into the top four is back where they belong. It's bullshit, really, and they are well supported. But they're a one club city. You know, if you look at any other of the big cities and you take away the other club, you get 50,000. If we were the only club in London, we get 200,000 every week. So, and I just, it great. I don't. You're gonna be very surprised to hear me say this. I don't actually hate them. They just irritate a bit. So I don't hate everybody. I'm glad you do, Dave. I'm really glad that somebody does, because as I've said before, you need a bit of fire to fuel things. But yeah, I think that they just piss me off with the you know, they haven't won anything since 1955. That's fucking longer than Tottenham. So I would say, you know, people looking at them thinking, well, they're a big club getting back where they belong. In my mind, they're nowhere near as big a club as we are. So it would really and I know they've got the money now, so they will do, but it would piss me off if, you know, they became an established sort of top four challenging team.
I mean, it's coming though, isn't it? The Arab money's going to stick them up there.
Absolutely. Frank's comment there, they've got the money and used it well, annoyingly, just about sums it up.
Well, to be honest, they haven't really started flexing on the money front, have they?
Not yet.
Quite well in their own right, building up with Eddie Howe and, you know, getting it done the right way. So that's even more annoying. But and they are going to, you know, they're going to spend some money over the next few years, and I expect them to consolidate and stay up there and, you know, be a top four side. But yeah, there you go. But when I was younger, you were saying yourself, right, that they want to massive. When I was younger, they were pissing around the bottom of the old Division 1. You know,
they were
not the old division, but, you know, the what is now the Championship. They were down there, and then they came back up with us in the early to mid 90s, and then they had a couple of really good seasons under Keegan, didn't they?
I'm pretty sure it might have been 88, 89. Their average attendance was 16,000. And, you know, it was only when they got up to and obviously the Premier League brings more people anyway. But, I just find this, the fact that they're, you know, a club that should be up there. Pisses me off.
That pre-Premier League era, though, mate, I think all attendances are down. I think West Ham were getting like 17,000 and that, and it was a bit of doldrums, wasn't it?
And they're one step removed from the Neanderthals, really, aren't they? You know,
we're going to get some calls tomorrow, mate.
One of the mistakes that Rome made was not building that wall a bit lower down. Anyway, we'll move on. So what have we got here? Couple of comments. 50 pence. Newcastle will make finals but won't win anything. Do you mean like a cup final? Because
I think that's what I'm saying.
I think he's saying everything in general. Yeah.
Well, they did that last year, didn't they? And to be fair, if that was the other way around, you'd expect them to smash Man United in the cup final. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Chris, do you want to read that one out, Dave?
Chris Coy, they're harmless now. It's when the plastic joins in, like Chelsea and City, well, they'll overstay their welcome. I think either way, like they're going to start flexing their money pretty soon, and they'll be up there, and it will feel a bit, just all a little bit plastic, won't it? As it does with Chelsea and Man City now.
Another one from Frank. Nice.
Yeah, Newcastle and West Ham fans are basically the same. They've had good times and we've had prolonged shit times. There are teams that I hate worse than them. It's probably fair. I mean, I fucking hate them as their colours, but they're not at Tottenham level for me.
Which is absolutely a good enough reason to hate somebody. All you've got to do is find one reason.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but they're not. They're definitely, like you said, they're not at Spurs level, but they're pretty fucking close.
One from Haydos. I'd probably be more impartial to the Geordies if not for that garbage reality show. You know, I don't think I've ever actually seen that, and I'm very glad I haven't.
No. Sounds like the lucky. Well, some of the lucky ones, looking.
Yeah, but it's the only way it's Essex to swap, right? It's like you're picking out the garbage of the city and sticking them on TV because it's funny to laugh at them.
Claret and Booze has joined us. Thank you very much for tuning in, and good afternoon to you as well.
Happy Nick Killington, will it?
Yeah, I think so. It'll be just after lunchtime over there, won't it? You'll be very pleased to see my background's been updated. I don't look like I'm just about to have my head cut off.
Taking the tea-towel off.
Comment from Darren Higgins. Is that the fake taxi bloke from C&B? Trust you are well, mate.
It's Nick.
So
good.
So what do we, Dave? We've all sort of given our thoughts. What are you going for?
Fake taxis from Thailand. That's interesting, isn't it?
What are we going for our predictions for Sunday?
For the Geordies?
Yeah.
Look, I'd like to think that we can get a draw out of it, right? But I've got to be honest, I'm putting that fixture up there with the hardest that we faced already, right? The Man City at home game. It's as tough as those at the moment, just because of the form they're on, and they've got a lot of clout behind them. If we got a 2-2 draw, I'd be well happy with that, and I'll go with that as my prediction, 2-2.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. I think we're going to go down, but I reckon it'll be a 3-2, something like that.
Yeah.
For me. Yeah. All
right.
They've got goals in them. We obviously know that, but I think we've got a couple going the other way as well. So, yeah, I'd be very, very happy with the draw. Absolutely. Yeah. And fucking astounded if we had a win. But look, as Claret and Booze has just mentioned here, the Geordies are... Where is it there? Oh, fuck.
Put it back up.
Put that up, Luke. Yeah. They'll be on a 2-day bender after walloping PSG. So, yeah, we could catch some cold. But it would that would definitely be the pinnacle of their season so far. So I do agree with that. I think Eddie Howe's a bit too smart of a manager to be popping the champagne corks just yet. But, yeah, I'd be very happy with the draw. I just hope we don't sit back because, they did nick a goal like the two that we conceded against Liverpool and City last year where they just dinked it in behind and scored. So I think we're going to go at them and just fucking see what happens, really.
Yeah. So you think we're going to lose 2-3,
Yeah. The only thing I'm sure of is I reckon Alvarez will get a fucking yellow card. And that'll be 5.
What minute?
Oh, we could. 34th.
Okay, there we go.
I might be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure this is the first time that one of us has actually predicted us to lose.
think you're
Even
right.
the City Liverpool games, I think we were all predicting draws.
Yeah.
So thanks, Nate. No, look, that's
Well,
what
we're known for getting him right, mate. Well, especially you. So.
Honesty and look, I'm with Dave. I think 2-2. That's the score that I've sort of had in my head. I think it'll be a good game. In fact, I think it'll be a great game. And I think it'll be a decent 2-2 draw. So, and if we do that, so I'm predicting a draw tomorrow and a draw Sunday. I'd take that. I'd be happy with that. We move on. Villa, looking ahead from there. Villa away is going to be tough. They just fucking destroyed Brighton. And then we've got Everton, I think, haven't we, after that? So, you'd look at that and say you've got to expect 3 points against Everton. Going to Villa is going to be tough as well. So we'll probably, if we get a draw on Sunday, we might lose a little bit of ground in keeping up with that sort of top 6 or 7, but they're still good results. We've got a lot of tough games out of the way already.
Our next 4 games after Villa is Everton, Brentford, Nottingham Forest, and Burnley. So
there's points there, 100% at this point.
Absolutely.
All right. So Nick, Claret and Booze, I reckon they'll have the game won by half time, and the second half we will play out like us against Sheffield United, 4-0 Newcastle. Jesus, that's even more pessimistic than Nate. Yeah,
realistic.
Nick.
Nah, I can't see that happening. Can't see it happening. I'm sure there's a bit of tongue in cheek there. But he has said that he thinks we'll win tonight. So
no, I think he's genuine. I think he probably does think we're going to get a bit of a spanking from Newcastle. It's a train of thought, mate. I mean, I've said myself, I'm very, very wary of them. I'm trying to stay optimistic, and I think a good result will be a draw, and that's what I'm hoping for. And I say that in the lightness that I actually really do think a 2-2 draw is a good result, and I hope we don't get spanking because it could happen. But
I don't think we're that flaky anymore, though, Dave. Really? Do you?
No.
I mentioned in a show a few weeks ago. We don't seem to lose by those big scores anywhere near as often as we used to. I think Newcastle didn't they batter us last season?
I think they might have put 4 past us last year. Yeah,
but we don't generally ship a great deal of goals. So I'd be very surprised. Haydos, I think they've got too much firepower to be kept to 1 goal. Very hopeful 2-2. And Nick, Claret and Booze, they're clinical and we invite chances on. We are due a spanking, if we're being honest. Well, look, I've just put the nail in the coffin, haven't I, by saying we don't get spanked anymore. So, look, I'm sure you'd agree. We hope that you're wrong, but it wouldn't be the most surprising thing in the world, would it?
No, look, this time we've ridden our luck. I think even against Sheffield United, right, a better team would have put a fucking goal or 2 past us. The only reason that we got a clean sheet because they were absolute fucking dog shit. Let's be honest, they were crap. No, they weren't. They were crap. They had, opportunities to put us to the sword, at least make that game competitive, and they didn't. And like Nick says, that Newcastle are a lot more clinical. You present them with that, they might put it away. I kind of think, we go 1 down. We've got a bit of fight in us to really dig our way back in. You remember against St James Park last season, we went down. We fucking went down twice in the first couple of minutes. One of them was disallowed by VAR. The other one then went straight up there and bloody scored again. But we really dug in and we fought back in the game. And in a way, that was a bit of a blessing. Gave us a bit of bloody spunk to go back and actually get something out of the game. But we've seen this collapse in the past. So, maybe it is on the cards.
Was that a 4-3 result? Was that a 4-3 result? The game you're talking about last year?
That's 1-1. So we went down very, very early and it ended up 1-1. Yeah, Paquetá scored and we were actually unlucky not to steal it in the end. But
I've got a funny memory. It must be another game when Wilson scored two, like in similar fashion. That they went one up, and then he got one straight after we scored as well.
No, they went 1-0 up, and it went behind the byline, and it was chalked off. And then like 40 seconds later, they had the ball back in the net again.
That's right.
Yeah. Mind blowing, but it was enough to get us going and got us back in the game.
Yeah.
Frank reckons we're going to get beat 3-1. Unfortunately, I think it would be unfortunate. Rani Bubble says we need to keep Trippier quiet on Sunday. Yeah, I agree. He's to be honest, look, I never really rated him when he was at the Yids, and obviously didn't see much of him when he was in Spain. He'd had a few good games for England, but watching him at Newcastle, he's fucking quality.
He's great, isn't he? Yeah,
he really is.
Just quick, so quick, and his balls into the box fucking rapid.
I mean, I know Sheffield United was shit and they were scoring for fun, but some of those balls he put in for the headed goals were unreal. Soufal like almost.
The assist king himself.
Yeah. So we do need
defenders to gobble those up, though, mate. If Trippier's going to ping the crosses in, at least we got the defenders to gobble that up. We're not going to be as brutal as Sheffield United were, are we? So.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we'll have to be wary of it for sure.
Yeah.
Moyes doesn't like a lot of change, but having said that, like if we've got three very strong central defenders that are fit, he may well change it up and go with the 3-5-2. Who knows? We know that's what he wanted to do in pre-season and just hasn't really had the cattle to settle into that. I wouldn't be surprised, but the head of Martin, I reckon he's going to stay the same as well. So,
if he did that, are you thinking it'd be Dinos that came in?
Yeah. Mavropanos in, and then Zuma and Aguirre. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be unlike Moyes to make a change, wouldn't it? But look, I can actually see this game. If it goes the way I predicted, substitutions being really important. If it's a tight game, one goal in it, who we bring on and when we bring them on and the approach that we take, it could be pivotal. And historically, Moyes has been shit at doing that. I can't remember if it was Liverpool or City where he actually made those. So we were like, fucking hell, but typically he doesn't do it very well. And I think Howe's a lot more astute at that game management.
His hands
was it the City game? Sorry.
It was City.
Yeah, I would say his hands are almost forced at the moment, right? Because I think he really needs to give minutes to Kudus, right? So I think that 60-minute mark, 65-minute mark is like, it's almost like he's gonna roll the dice for Kudus and bring him on.
Yeah.
And that could be a good thing.
He's hoping.
Absolutely.
He's hoping. So.
Another comment from Nick at Claret and Booze. Souček should be dropped against the better teams. He ends up looking a spare part against better opponents. Dynamic midfield of three: Pacman, JWP, and Alvarez for me, with Kudus wide left.
Yep.
I think that's a fair comment. And I think we'd all agree Souček is limited as a footballer. When we see the best of him, in that first season, and we've seen glimpses of it recently, but he's never going to be an absolute world beater.
No.
And I think we talked about team rotation and squad rotation a couple of weeks ago, and we don't do that. Moyes has his players and that's it. But just looking at that comment there, it's probably games like this that you do need to actually think about, who we're playing, who's going to be, the best that we can put out there. So I don't think he'll do it. I think it's a fair comment. It'd be interesting if he did. Like,
Yeah, look, I commented on this a while ago, and I think, or certainly after, I think it was on the Monday show actually. Look, I think ultimately that is right for us. I think our best midfield trio is those three, right? I think you can trust Baketa to do that dirty work. Even JWP, he's hard working, right?
Yeah.
So you've almost got three defensive midfielders with a bit of flair to them in the other two to be able to do that. And I would fully trust that trio. Problem is, right, I think because Souček is in good form, you can't really drop him at the moment. And I think there's a case Kudus has got to wait is for his moment. And just because that's the way Moyes doesn't do the rotation thing, right? He's loyal to the players that are performing. You know, if Ben Rama's playing well, he's starting. You know, he gives him a few goes in a row. Now he's been hooked out because he ain't really doing it right. So you're going to need a run of results like that for Souček, where he has 4, maybe 5 games where he's not, you know, so great, and then he might get hooked for this to get his chance. So, but I agree. That is the way to do it.
I mean, Paquetá is such a good player, though. Like, you look at what he's created out, like just the synergy that he's got out wide with Emerson's phenomenal. Like, you do think that he's a little bit wasted out there, but fuck, watching those two players together is fantastic. But you can put him centrally. I think that in that midfield three there, Pac-Man, JWP, and Alvarez, like, you basically just play those two as 8s and have Alvarez that sits in behind him. One side, one's adjusting, the other one's high, the other one goes to adjust. And you can't really do that much with Souček. I think with Souček, like, it's almost like he's under instruction. As soon as we've got the ball, you've just got to be that late run into the box every single time. But that can hurt us a little bit because he can't pass a fucking ball, can he? We all know that. Like, his best attribute is late headers. So, yeah, I agree with you, Dave. Like, I don't think it's in Moyes' toolbox to really change things unless he really has to. But I do agree with Nick's comments. I think that is a better midfield because Baketa can do that dirty work up front, and he's fucking sexy in defence or going forward. So.
So Nick's further comment here, I don't think it's dropping him though. It should be a squad game, pick the best players for the opponent. Yeah, and I do agree, right? That's no such thing as a one size fits all in the PL, lazy IMO. Look, I don't like lazy. I just think it's the way Moyes is, right? And so he trusts his players, he trusts the team that did well last week, and I think that's just the way. You know, this is DNA in it, rightly or wrongly, probably wrongly, as you say. But, you know, it's not dropping him. We all think that there should be some kind of rotation like that, but I just don't see that's going to happen, is it?
No, but I think it's something we do really, really badly though. Like you look at it, even not just the top sort of 4 or 5 or 6 teams, but a lot of other teams will just leave players out, and we don't do that. You know, and if Souček doesn't play against Newcastle, he's still in form. When he comes back in that team, he's still in form if he's not played. And you know, it's the problem. The problem is Moyes. Moyes is too loyal and he's too set in his ways as to what he wants to do. But we should be prepared to look at. You know, we've got 3 cups we're in, or 3 competitions we're in. We've got the FA Cup coming in. We've got a lot of players, so we've got the luxury, probably now more than any time that we've had, of actually having decent teams to play against certain opponents. I think that's a really key point. We need to, I suppose, get this notion of dropping people out of our heads and saying, well, all right, he's in form, but you know, everyone, Alvarez is in form, Pac-Man's in form, JWP's in form, so we can't play everyone. You know, I
think the only one that's questionable really on form is Aguirre, but he was definitely better against Sheffield than he had been the 2 previous weeks, wasn't he? But I don't know enough about Mavropanos to know whether or not he's comfortable enough to play on the left, because you're not going to move Zuma from the right, are you?
I think what we've seen as well from Kudus is like the way he drifts through that middle and like takes players on like they're not even fucking there. I want to see more of that. And you go, well, there comes a time, and this is where I'm going to completely agree with Nick, right? You go, well, it's time to stick him in, regardless of who's actually playing well in that first 11 that won last week. This guy's got a bit of magic about him, and I want to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you'd argue he's in form as well.
Yeah, he's scoring for his international team. He's scoring for us in Europa. Yep, I agree.
A sobering and real comment there from Haydos. Allardyce would have played the under-18. We've come a long way from those days, haven't we? Do you remember that 5-0 Forest game in the FA Cup?
Yeah.
I do fucking too well. Let's not talk about it. Fuck it now.
Anyway, moving on from there.
I get frustrated with Moyes, like people that do bag Moyes, right? I think they start comparing him with Allardyce. I think they're fucking chalk and cheese. Allardyce is fucking pony.
Yeah, horrible times. Comment here from Alison Street. Evening, Alison. Thanks for joining us. When Ings get pulled off tonight, will Mubama get some minutes, or will we play with a false number 9, move Kudus up top? I'll answer that. Mubama won't get anywhere near the pitch. Not because I don't think he should, but he won't.
It's disappointing, but like I like watching Kudus run. So I don't think central's where he's at. Right or left, I think he can get the ball deep and just fucking beat players and keep running. It's good to watch. I think you'd lack that if you put him centrally.
Yeah, no, he's a slightly placed centrally, mate. He's a central attacking midfielder, and Moyes has called that out that he is a central player, and that's why he's struggling to get him in, because he's got too many of those central players. He doesn't actually. I get the feeling he doesn't actually want to play him wide. He wants to play him through the middle. I think he's seen as the replacement stuff, and we bought him early essentially because the opportunity was there. But
how do you fit them both in if you have to?
I know. I think that's when you start sticking Kudus out on the left, right? But then I think actually he is a central attacking midfielder.
Fair enough. Everything I've seen on him, though, it's always been wide. So it's an interesting observation. I'd love to see it.
But we've just ticked over an hour, so we'll probably wrap it up in the next 5 minutes or so. We'll get through a couple more comments.
You want to see Kingy?
Yeah, and then we'll send out a search party for Kingy to see what's happening. Just another comment from Nick at Claret and Booze. Moyes will wait until that obvious enthusiasm that Kudus has to impress wears off before he gets a start. He'll need to look like Moyes has taken his shit in his chips before he gets a start.
It's like Mubama, though, isn't it? You go, well, actually, Mubama's enthusiasm in pre-season was there, and it was ready to ride the wave, and we haven't had the opportunity.
I really, really hope that, and I don't think he will, but I hope that Kudus doesn't go the same way as so many others that have just never really got off the ground. You think back to who was that Brazilian that we had?
Anderson.
Anderson.
He was a lazy cunt, though.
Yeah, I know. And Halle.
He was.
But
he was shit.
I think it's special.
I'm sure Nick would say Moyes is a big part of that problem. Just give the kid some game time. We all want to see him, even if it's just bringing him on at half time. If we're 2-1 down on Sunday, bring him on at half time. But he won't do it. He'll bring him on in the 75th minute when we're 3-1 down. Anyway, no, that won't happen because we're going to draw.
Sub Ings on at 89.
And Rani Bubble has followed up on that comment saying, we'll see. Not sure introducing him in an unfamiliar position is fair to him, to be honest. I guess how he performs tonight will tell us a lot. Yeah, I think so. And I think that's probably the biggest issue that we've got with selection at the moment is, we've got so many players that play in similar positions or want to play in similar parts of the pitch. So, but we'll see.
They are good problems to have, right?
They are.
They are very good problems to have. Like it's nice to have, I guess equal levels of quality. It's frustrating.
Yeah, and in the past, we'd be spending an hour talking about how X, Y, and Z are getting in the team because they're absolute dog shit. And we need to get rid of them. We need to get someone else in. Whereas now we're talking about how do we get everybody in? You know, who do we leave out? Everyone's in form. So,
just sticking this one up and up from Nick. If Moyes was Brighton manager, we'd be saying the same thing about Evan Ferguson. He was only 18. Yeah, I agree, mate. He probably didn't got a sniff on the voice, would he?
No, absolutely not.
Although, a lot of those youngsters who've left haven't really sort of gone on to great things yet, have they?
No, they haven't. But I don't know. I think, you know, Kudus is obviously different, and I think we need Indians to handle him differently. You know, he was an established Champions League. I know he wasn't in the Champions League this season, but he must have played in the Champions League with Ajax before.
He's been very good for Ajax.
So anyway, look, we will see what happens. Early start tomorrow, Dave. Nath, are you getting up, or are you going to hit the alarm later on?
I'll jump up and have a boat beat. Could be back. Hopefully, I'm not back in bed before half time, Matty.
No, I think it'll be all right. I've got a feeling it won't be the best game in the world to watch, but you know, hopefully I'm wrong. And then Sunday is relatively reasonable time for us over here. It's 11 o'clock Sunday night.
Okay.
Surprising, isn't it?
Better just let people know, right? Because I've been stuffing up the morning kickoff time. I've been saying 3:45. Checking it now, it is actually 2:45. 2:45 a.m. Fuck. Anyway, don't miss the first half on my account, boys and girls. It's 2:45 kickoff.
Oh dear. All right.
Kickoff's 3:45.
For my,
I'm looking at the stand app right now. The coverage says it starts at 2:40, but kickoff 3:45 a.m.
Yeah, but
unless that's on Sydney fucking time, is it?
That's Sydney time, isn't it?
Fuck, Stan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I got
nightmare,
it out.
Yeah.
It's 2:45.
Yeah.
So, couple of final comments. Alisson again. This time last season, Mabama had started 12 games. This season, none, and was AWOL for all teams last weekend. Madness.
Says he's not even getting PL2 games, is he?
No, he mustn't be. What's going on? There's something there. There's something going on there. Nick, great show, gents. Thank you very much, and thanks for taking the time to join us. 2:45 a.m. Fuck that. Yeah, it's but
welcome down under.
we're used to it. To be honest, that's a particularly bad time. We don't generally get too many of them. Maybe a couple a season.
Well, we better fuck off because that's like 5 hours away.
Yeah, I know. That's come on at 4 a.m. Look, thank you to everybody that's joined us and watched and contributed. It's really, really good. You know, it certainly makes it more entertaining, better conversation when your comments are coming through. We will catch up on Monday in the pub. Hopefully Kingy's been found and is alive. After his couple of comments, he seems to have fallen off a cliff again. So I'd say he's probably fallen asleep face down in his own vomit. But hopefully he's all right.
Dave, you should be able to coach him through that later on Monday. Yeah?
Anything about getting so drunk and passing out, mate? I don't know nothing about that kind of thing.
Listen, one day we will have all four of us in the pub. We've managed to do it in the interactive show, haven't we? But so it's probably my turn to get pissed and miss one next. But look, good chat, gents. Pleasure.
It's been great fun.
Thank you all very much for joining. We will see you again on Monday next week, and hopefully we're coming off the back of 2 undefeated games. One thing left to say, gents.
Thanks, boys.
Come on, you
Thank you.
Cheers.